Mama Helen TV show, Mama Helen ló ti dé. Mọ́mí ti wá dé, Mama Helen ló tún ti dé. Oríṣiríṣi ara.
There's a still Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. I am excited. You know what? Because I'm not going to be the one interview people, but one way or the other, I'll be the one to anchor today's program, listening to all the questions and, of course, providing solution at the end of the day. So, what are we looking at today? We're looking at the importance of family. This is Family Time Program. The importance of family. But let me give the definition of the word family. What is family? Family is a group consisting of two parents, okay, and their children living together in a unit. It is extremely important that we understand that. Family can also be defined as a group of people related by blood living together. So, whichever way you go about it, we're not talking about the extended aspect of it. We're talking about family, husband and wife with children living together in a home. I know without a shadow of doubt that God's mind towards family is for family to stay together. And for family to stay together, it would mean that, okay, there has to be it has to be purposeful. I think that's the best way to put it. It has to be purposeful. And for us to be able to work towards it, it will mean that we also need to understand the importance of family. Okay? What are the benefits of family? Number one, the number one thing the family would do is that family, a good or family that is well bonded, will be able to provide spiritual sanity. What do I mean by spiritual sanity? When husband and wife begins to fellowship with their children in terms of enacting the importance of the place of the Word of God in the home, it helps the entire family to see the value of not only just going to church, but studying the Word of God, praying together. Of course, it is well said that family that prays together definitely stand together, and of course they endure every situation and whatever challenge that might come their way. The second aspect of the importance of family is that it creates mental stability, not just with the children, but amongst family. I'm talking about husband and wife now. It's extremely important when there is unity, when there is bond between husband and wife, it has a way of affecting the children as well. The emotional turmoil that takes place, when one feels that, he's being neglected or rejected or perhaps is not being listened to, becomes a problem. Okay? So, it brings mental stability. And then, of course, the children, can see as well that daddy and mom are one, they're together, and they can learn from that as well. And so it will affect them, positively with their education, with everything that has to do with life. And mind you, you're also preparing them for tomorrow as well. The third aspect is our society. A good family, represents what goes on in our society. When a family is full of chaos and all manners of things, do you know what happens? Do you know what happened in that kind of setting? Our society is also affected negatively by that, in essence. And that's why you have a lot of vices out there due to broken homes and what have you. It just does not work. The importance of family, that's what we're looking at presently. The other aspect that I also want us to look at is the aspect, of building family values. Yes, family values. we must be able to come up with a mission. What is the mission for the family? Most times people think that when you talk about mission, it has to do with organization, but it goes beyond that. We need to understand the mission for the family. The father and mom must be able to, okay, this is the mission. This is what we intend to achieve by coming together. Daddy and I came together for a purpose. Yes, apart from that, we come together, to provide succor for each other, to complement each other, to encourage each other and all. We also have a mission. The number one mission could be that, okay, in this family, we are not going to tolerate, fighting each other, quarreling with each other, learn how to communicate without having to be saucy, without having to be rude, and so on. That's the mission. And at the end of the day, okay, what you're also teaching is that when they go out there, in the world, they will be able, to also transcend these same qualities. Or should I say, they will be able to give it out to the society at large. It's extremely important. Okay, looking at the important, love also is an added advantage when it has to do with the import of family. When you can't give, I often say this, you can't give what you don't have. Okay? If there is no love between father and mom that children can also receive, evidently you cannot give that to the society at large. It's definitely not going to happen. And I also know that people have difficulty, relating with that, especially in Africa. An African man, okay, all right, sees love in a different way. Okay, whereas a woman, as a woman, we're taught about, all those love books that we read growing up and all that, so we expect a lot. And when that is not coming, it becomes a problem, And so when a woman says to her husband and say, honey, do you love me? The man goes back to say, why did I marry you? I married you because I love you, baby. So what's your problem? Okay, that comes to that, sometimes comes to fall. But believe you me, when you demonstrate love, it helps in strengthening the bond that is in the family. And at the end of the day, it will be a good fruit of, having each other's back. The fruit, of encouraging one another. This fruit of also being able to give to our society at the end of the day. In wrapping this up, because there's going to be a time for you to be able to talk with me, to be able to chat with me, to be able to love on each other today. It is family time on Mama Helen and you. So let me say the last one before we'll have a short break where you can then call me. You can then talk to me. You can let me know what is going on and how you want me to address some of those nagging issues with you. And mind you, when you are to call, make sure you have your television set either reduced completely or it's muted. I mean, I'm talking about the voice now. Make sure it's muted so that it does not backfire whilst we're talking, and there will be clarity at the end of the day. However, I would love to hear from you. It is important. The import of family and family actually bonding together, spending time together, loving on each other. The import. The number 5 aspect that I also want us to look at is the aspect of growth and development. Now, let me tell you this. No home can succeed in chaos. Women generally can handle a lot of things. When a woman, is not very happy and all that, she might be able to still function. But when it has to do with a man, a man cannot function in the place of chaos. When there is no peace at home, it makes it difficult for a man to function. What about the children? The children would also go through their own problems as well. the children will struggle because they feel that the home has problems. Before you know it, it will start affecting them educationally, especially with those who are still in school, and those who are now married or adults and not living their lives. They will have difficulty handling personal relationships. They will have difficulty relating with people. They will have difficulty relating with the society at large. So it is extremely important. And we want growth. We want development. We want our husbands to be happy so that they can continue to fulfill destiny. And we want our women to be happy as well. Because when mothers are not happy, guess what happens? That home is not going to be happy as well. Everyone is going to wear a sad face. So you don't want that as well. And then, of course, we want our children to be better than us. That is extremely important. It is still on Mama Helen and you today. You have a talk home, and there are things I have just scratched the surface. We are on a journey. This is the whole essence of why we have family time today. Back in a moment on Mama Helen and you.
In those days when we were small pikin, our parents they take care of we very well. When we go school, they go ask us, what do I do for school today? Bring your books, let me see. Then they go see. Then after we finish eating in the afternoon, we get some rest. Then in the evening, our parents go ask us to bring our books. He go give us homework inside to do. He go give us assignment to do for inside that evening time. Once you get 10 o'clock, then we have to go and sleep for tomorrow school. But now, nothing like that because of different burning. The burning, children go, they go bump children, they go bump pikin. They know their papa, they know where they come from. All these yahoo, either they get belle for. All these bastard boys, either they get belle for. They will come begin born anyhow. All join this problem when they grant for this Nigeria.
There is no perfect marriage. There is challenge in marriage. But ability for you as the head of the house to handle that challenges, it make you the head of the family. It make you the father of the family. We have different kind of challenge. We have children challenges. We have financial challenges. We have marital challenges, family. There are different kind of challenge.
No man good. You understand me? Now if you bring your own come out, the other person don't know what they happen. So may you hide your own. According to my mom, we don't marry, we don't old pass me for inside. My mom go tell me say marriage na university where you know go fit graduate from inside. You dey learn every day and are patient.
Welcome back, viewers. This is still Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. I am extremely excited. I'm sure you were really fascinated and you probably have a take home from all our people out there who had one thing or the other to say regarding the lockdown period and how they were able to bond with their families and what have you. I am excited by all those things as well. In fact, I have one or two things, that I also learned as well, especially the grandma that was actually talking about the need to keep the home together because children of today now go about, sleeping around. I'm talking about girls now, having children with people that are of bad character, whether you call them Yahoo boys or what have you. Well, that evidently, children coming out from such a home, it's never going to give a desired result, and it's not going to be positively impactful to the society. Of course, there will be a menace to their family as well. Okay, so we need to get it right. It's extremely important. Family, I was going to say, is between husband and wife. I'm not talking about 2 women or 3 women. That's not the definition of family. The definition of family is husband and wife, meaning father and mom, with the children living together in a unit. It's extremely important to establish that because with that establishment, it will help us to be able, to bring in every other thing that is necessary. Because if husband and wife are living separately, then evidently it's going to affect their closeness as a family. So that's on that side. I think we need to be very, very mindful of that. That's why I don't believe in long courtship, and I don't believe in distance relationship as well. Those things are no go, a no go area to me, as a matter of fact. Well, there are some questions that people sent in and would want me to respond to, today. And I'm going to take those questions first before you would have the opportunity to be able to call in, ask questions, and what have you. I'm all here for you today. It's going to be awesome. I am already excited about what is going to happen. So the first question that I have here with me says, what do I do if after marriage I discover that I and my husband have no communication bond? That's a serious thing. I often say this. There is no way you can have genuine relationship without communication. And when we talk about communication is two ways. It's a two-way thing. It's not just from one side. You don't have communication with just one person talking. Maybe it's a woman that is all ranting, or it's the man that is ranting his way out, and then the woman does not have the opportunity, or the man does not have the opportunity to say something. That is extremely wrong. The other aspect of communication that is also important is that there's a difference between hearing and listening. We must understand that. When one is talking, another must listen, must pay attention to what is being said. Okay? It's extremely important. You can get yourself busy with your phone, especially with the aspects of social platforms and all sorts of things that are, now open to us today. It is extremely important that you put down your phone, you put on everything else, just to be able to pay attention and hear what that person, has to say. Now, in addressing this particular question, let me start by saying that you must understand, woman, that when you are to communicate with your husband, be mindful of using the you word. I'm going to repeat myself again. Be mindful of using the you word. The you word is an accusing finger. You see, it's the index. It's you did this, you caused this, you are the problem, you are my problem, you are the reason the children are not doing well, you are the problem of my life. When you use the you word, it turns away your partner. Okay? It turns away your partner. So it is extremely important that you are mindful of that. So what should be your word then? The we word and the I word. Where is the I coming into this? The I aspect has to do with you expressing your feelings to your husband. Honey, I feel that what is going on now, it could be my fault, but I think we need to look into it. Rather than say, you are the reason why I'm feeling like this. Okay? Men generally don't like to be boxed in the corner. When you do that, it becomes a problem. So you don't want to do that. Okay? The we aspect has to do with you generalizing whatever it is that you have to say with your husband. It is extremely important. Okay? The generalization aspect of it has to do with we need to do this. Or not, you need to do this. You need to do that. When you use such words, or when you use a word, like that, it creates friction. Now, to our men in general, and I'm talking to African men now. African men struggle with their women being able to dialogue with them. They think that the woman is trying to dominate them. They think that the woman is just trying to prove that she knows more than the man. They also think that traditionally a woman is not supposed to say anything. But here, come on. How are you going to be able to live with, an opposite sex, a wife of yours, without having to allow communication? There's not going to be bond. You're not going to. Your relationship is not. It's going to lack the impetus, what it would help to glue your relationship together. There must be a room, a fora, where you can both see that and dialogue. You can come up with rules. You can say, okay, whilst we're talking, hey, honey, don't, keep your voice down. Because you see, a woman, when you ignore a woman for a long time and you're not allowing her to talk, the day she's going to talk, hey, Jehovah, even you the man, you will almost run out of the house because she's going to bring the house down. She's going to talk over your head. She's going to talk over the head of everybody. Okay, because she is not allowed to talk. I think what I've tried to say here is that the woman needs to know how to communicate. The man must also allow the woman to be able to dialogue. The second question here with me from Anon. It says, how do I handle a spouse that argues a lot even when he or she is wrong? That's a big question right there. Okay. The reason why there is argument is because you're also talking back. So I think it's very important of you to pay attention. Again, like I said, if two of you are talking, if two people are talking at the same time, you're hardly hearing each other. So the skills of being able to listen is extremely important here. If your husband or wife is trying to make a point, pay attention. Listen. Listen to him first. Let him finish. Or listen to her first. Let her finish. Don't ever discard whatever is coming from your spouse. Don't ever look down on any point your spouse is making. Don't ever, see it as something of infinitesimal. Never see it that way. Always pay attention. Even when you think the person is not making sense. All right? He's a human being. That person has self-worth and dignity. Don't allow your ego, or should I say your feelings, in the sense of the woman now, erode that. Is extremely important. So, listen. There shouldn't be room for arguments. Okay, the reason why you argue is because both of you are still talking. Then, at the same time, the other aspect to argument is when one is refusing to admit fault. Okay, when one is struggling with admitting, that I am wrong, or whatever. Generally in Africa, men have difficulty saying sorry. But I often say this: you must be man enough to say sorry when you have done something wrong. You must not admit that, or assume rather, that being a man means that, you are ever wrong. No, that is wrong. Okay? It's a good thing for a man to be able to walk up to his wife, or should I say in general, to be able to say, I am sorry, when you have done something wrong. And one of the ways by which you can also go about this is where, don't allow things to get heated up. When you're having conversation, if the voice and everything should be rising, just keep quiet. Be calm. That woman, out there, be calm. Let him finish with whatever it is. Later on, at the very best time, perhaps maybe because there's always a time for a man, for you to be able to communicate with the man. Sometimes it could be maybe when he's eating, he's having his dinner, or he's watching something of interest on television, or he's in bed. Both of you have just, conjugated, and so at that instant, you can bring out whatever it is. And again, like I said, don't make it an accusing point. At the end of the day, we're not interested in who is right, who is wrong. I think the most important of communication is for everyone to be able to hear their feelings at the end of the day. They must be able to hear their feelings. It's important. Number 3, The number 3 question here says, how can I get my parents to listen to me as a teenager without judging me? This actually came from Hawa from Jas. Thank you, Hawa. How can I get my parents to listen to me as a teenager? Well, teenagers generally feel that they know it all. We've all been we've all been there. All right, we've all been there. The tendency for you to think that daddy doesn't know anything, all these old people, I think we need to address that foremost, okay? That's important. Never think that your parents have nothing to offer you. As a matter of fact, you are just starting. You don't know jack. You don't know anything. It's an assumption. How many years of being a teenager? From 13 to being 18, you still have a long way to go. The life you're living here, your parents have lived it. And what parents always run away from is having to see their children repeat the same mistake they made before. So the tendency is always there for them to wanting to correct you so that you do not make the same mistake or repeat history that is negative in the family, being what they have also been through, as well. So how do you get to your parents? Number 1, you have to listen. Let daddy and mom talk first. When they are done talking, you can then say, Mom, can I talk? Daddy, is it okay if I say something? Okay? At that time, you are respectful. All right? And because you've shown respect, they will be able to pay attention to you, they will be able to listen to you, and they will be able to dialogue with you. Okay? It's not all the time they will say, yes. Sometimes they might, have their points. But listen, where those things they are saying, it might be of immense benefit to you, at the end of the day. And daddy and mom, please learn to listen to your teenagers. Learn to listen to your children. Have a time. Do you know, in my family, I have girls' time, I have boys' time, and then I have children's time. We also have family time as well. We have family time. So anyway, it's extremely, and that period when we have girls' time, we have boys' time, and so on, I allow them to talk. I literally leave them to be the one to wag their tongue and say anything they need to say, because they know that anything they say at that time is never going to be used against them. That's the rule of the game, and that has helped to create bond. Do you know, just recently with the Mother's Day, all my children, my 2 boys and the girl, wrote me beautiful letter. But I don't want to be partial. I don't know whether they're all watching. Fantastic letters they all wrote, so I need to give them kudos. But I looked at what I don't want to mention. One of them wrote, I think I'll be general. You see, I have to be general. I don't want anyone to feel, oh, mommy didn't mention my name. By the time I get home, one of them wrote, and I read through. Do you know, I became teary just by, reading it. The reason being, one of them really poured, their art. I hope I've not betrayed anything. But to be honest, it was really, it was touching. Mentioning those times we spent together, how we cried together, how we do this together. And I said, that's it. You can't get it wrong. So wonderful, Hawa. I hope you actually heard all the things we have said, and that you will use wisdom in approaching your parents.
So I said, grace, grace, grace. I love this grace. Oh, your grace.
What can I do if my husband refuses to support the home financially but spends lavishly in public? What do I do if my spouse shows no affection for my child born out of wedlock? Mind is a garden in itself. It has a way, of growing with whatever you feed it with.
Mama Helen, you to take you higher, to build your home, make you smile again, keep a day with Mama Helen and you.
Mama Helen and you, showing on the African Broadcasting Network.